The Brooklyn Over the Hill Athletic Association, Joe Myatt. In lane number 2, representing the Philadelphia Pioneer Track Club. And the 1978 junior college champion in both the high and intermediate hurdles, Kerry Bethel. In lane 3, 19-year-old Renaldo Nehemiah of the University of Maryland, a young man who has broken the world hurdle records 7 times this season indoors. He, of course, won the NCAA indoor title last year, the premier hurdler in the world, Renaldo Nehemiah. In lane 4, another great one from San Jose State, D.D. Cooper, the 1976 NCAA champion. His outdoor best time came last year. He is in peak condition. And in lane 5, also from the Philadelphia Pioneer Track Club, Charles Foster, who won both the NCAA and the AAU titles in 1974. He is a 2-time AAU indoor champion, including last year. Lane number 1, Joe Myatt. Lane number 2, Kerry Bethel. Lane number 3, Renaldo Nehemiah. Lane number 4, D.D. Cooper. Lane number 5, Charles Foster. Nehemiah, a potential world record setter every time he steps on the track, Bill.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Renaldo, the way he's been running lately. I'd say Charles Foster, of course, also a potential winner.
Nehemiah in the red shorts, the white top. The finals of the men's 60-yard hurdles. It's a good start. Nehemiah hits the first hurdle in front, extends his lead. Going into the 4th hurdle, he has a substantial lead in Renaldo Nehemiah. Hits the tape, a decided victor in the men's 60-yard hurdles. D.D. Cooper of San Jose State appeared to be the second finisher.
Renaldo Nehemiah was off very quickly and had an early lead, in my impression. As you can see, he's taking the lead here by the second hurdle. And, the race is just about over, in my opinion. There he's almost got a hurdle lead.
Well, it's paramount to take that first hurdle in a smooth, full stride, and Nehemiah out of the block so quickly, had the race literally won at the first hurdle, I think. Billy was over at first and just extended his lead the rest of the way. Now let's go down to Irv Cross.
Don, I have with me the winner of the men's high hurdles. The time is unofficial right now, 6.95 on a hand time basis unofficially. Nehemiah, are you satisfied with that?
Pretty much. I came out here pretty much to prove that I didn't peak early in the year, and my record performances weren't just something that's early. You know, I'm strong and I can last throughout the whole year. And
now for 110 meters hurdles, which brings together the 3 fastest hurdlers of all time, with world record holder in lane 5, Greg Foster, the 3rd fastest man ever in lane 4, and the man all eyes are on. Here he is, Renaldo Skeets Nehemiah, still only 20, but already the world record holder, 13.16, which he set about 3 weeks ago. And he's got a brilliant start, and only Cassanias is near him. Look at the hurdling of this man. He streaks away. 3 perfect strides between, no dipping of the trunk. Head remains erect. Cassanias chasing after him, and Foster's fallen early in the race, but there is the clearest victory over the former world record holder and Olympic silver medalist. This is Nehemiah. There's Foster limping off the track, but this 20-year-old is absolutely brilliant. Second from the left, wearing the dark shorts. Watch this for hurdling. See that he doesn't really lean forward from the trunk. The head remains in exactly the same position. He just throws the leg at the hurdle and then gets on with the job of sprinting. There's Foster tumbling out of that race. He really wanted Nehemiah this time. But the man who's set 6 world records indoors already this season, the world's greatest athlete indoors for the whole season, going away from the Olympic silver medalist in absolutely supreme style. And that, as he hits the line, is a new world record, 13 seconds dead. 13.00 for Nehemiah.
You came across that last hurdle knowing you had it, and I saw a big smile come across your face. There was a lot of pressure on you in that meet, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, sir, Bruce. This time last year, I was offered my first loss, and there was a lot of vengeance, I guess, in this meet. Also with the Cuban for the first time in the U.S., so this was a chance to really see who was the dominant figure in the U.S.
He just gave us the time a second ago, 13.00. Every time I meet Skeets, you break another world's record.
Well, like I said, I don't initially plan out to go for a record.
Vasily Archipenko of the Soviet Union.
Absolutely unbeatable. No one seems to have a chance of getting anywhere near him. He won the AAU title last year. He's got every chance of retaining his title this year. And if the wind isn't too strong, a chance of breaking his own world record. He could be the first man to go legitimately under 13 seconds away very fast. In lane 3, Cooper chasing him hard, but Nehemiah now pulling away from the field. He's clipped a couple of hurdles, but he's still got about 3 yards on the field and pulling away all the time. Remarkable leg speed over the line. Cooper second, and the old Olympic runner Charles Foster came through, the veteran, in third place. Nehemiah hardly pressed. The time not as fast as some of the ones he's shown earlier this season, but then he didn't really seem to be caring too much about this.
How amazing that America can throw up two amazing hurdlers in such a short time. Edwin Moses over the 400 hurdles, and here in lane 5, the most consistent high hurdler ever, Renaldo Nehemiah. He takes out 4 hurdles, in fact, in this event, and as we can see, he's losing a little bit of balance, but now coming through to get in front of Didi Cooper in lane 3 and Kerry Bethel in lane 4. A tremendous exhibition of smooth, controlled hurdling, galloping just a fraction between the hurdles. He's already had an enormous amount of races this season, coming through to win on the line now with Cooper in second place.
13.19, a meeting record, the 3rd fastest time ever. Cooper second. And a marvellous lineup in the men's 400-metre hurdles. Edwin Moses out in lane 7. America and Cuba. Cuba in the lane 1. Chuck Foster of America in lane 2, 4th in the Olympic Games. In lane 3, Jesus Costas of Puerto Rico. And in lane 4, one of the favourites, the defending champion, former world record holder Alejandro Casañas from Cuba. Best of 13.21, but he's been overshadowed very much by the man in lane 6. There, sandwiched between the big stars, is Pat Fogarty of Canada from Montreal. And in lane 6, Renaldo Nehemiah. Man has put together more fantastic runs over the 110-metre hurdles than anyone in history. The current world record holder at 13 seconds. Rafael Echevarria of Mexico drawn in 7, and Mariano Reyes of the Dominican Republic drawn in lane 8. But this is really down to 2 men. Casañas, the former world record holder, against Nehemiah, the current world record holder.
And we mustn't forget the bald-headed Charles Foster in lane 2. But what will be interesting is just how close Casañas can run Nehemiah. Nehemiah should be the clear favourite in this. 2 Americans, 2 Cubans. At this point, the hurdles look considerably higher, the 10 hurdles, than their 3'6". Foster showing his nerves at the start, just trying to keep his control as they go down onto their marks. Nehemiah, quite the most fantastic high hurdler the world has ever seen. He and Edwin Moses, also of America, have dominated the hurdling scene for the last 2 years, and one looks forward to them continuing that success in Moscow next year. So they rock slowly up into the set position. And it's Nehemiah away to a good start. He's clear at the first hurdle with Casañas now coming through, and Casañas is holding him with Foster going well, but it's Nehemiah now opened up a gap. He's fallen off 1 or 2 hurdles, but it's Nehemiah coming through with Casañas in second place and Foster in third. Well, quite a surprise there. Didn't expect Casañas to hold Nehemiah so early in the race. He held him very well for 5 hurdles, and then Nehemiah, despite a very rocky 5th and 6th hurdles, where he lost his balance, he wobbled between the hurdles, gave Casañas the chance to come back, and that's a new Pan-American record, 13.21 seconds. Amazing that they can run that sort of speed with such an untidy run by comparison to Nehemiah's normal running. Is away to a good start. He's hurdling well here. Now Casañas coming back. It's Nehemiah making the ground between the hurdles, smooth, silky running between the hurdles, and now he begins to rock. His trailing leg goes, he zigzags between a couple of hurdles, gives the others a chance to stay in contention. But his speed on the ground, and as they run in off this 10th hurdle, you'll see he takes a yard, perhaps 2 yards, out of Casañas, himself a tremendous sprinter.
Champion and reigning world record holder at 400 metres hurdles, looking for this title.
Renaldo Skeets Nehemiah, the clearest favourite for gold medal in Moscow next year. Running in the 110 metres hurdles, in which he is the world record holder, American champion and Pan-American champion. The full line-up includes the 3 top Americans. Charlie Foster in lane 1. Roberto Schneider in 2. Jan Pusti of Poland in 3. Then Skeets Nehemiah, who generally lays on a demonstration of hurdling. Then Didi Cooper of the United States. And Dieter Gebhardt of West Germany on the outside. Nehemiah, still only 20, and flying already. Only he's hit one badly, and coming up on him is Didi Cooper. And for the first time ever, we're seeing him under pressure, and this will be astonishing. He's got to come back, but Didi Cooper's hit him to the line, and he's never been closer pushed than that in the last 18 months of his life. Half a dozen world records indoors, 2 outdoors. He hit the second hurdle, was in trouble and under pressure from then on. I almost said that I said we're going to see a demonstration of hurdling. The most fluent hurdler the world has ever seen. Nehemiah pours himself over that one, slightly high, and then he's really very upright. And watch this, he clips that badly and he's off balance. From then on, Didi Cooper of the United States, the 23-year-old, is on his shoulder and knows that he's bad. And again, Nehemiah hits one badly. Charlie Foster, far right of picture, the bald-headed man, closing that gap as well. And this must be the poorest performance from Nehemiah in the 18 months since he's been a senior and dominating the world scene. He really has to fight, and this tests his fighting qualities. Nobody would deny he's the clearest favorite for a gold medal in Moscow, but look at this race for the line, and Didi Cooper knows that he's got a chance of beating him, and it'll take a photograph, and it may well be Cooper that steals it. 13.51, disastrously slowly for Nehemiah, but if Cooper wins it, it will be a notable victory.
The awards being 2 laps, the 800 metres, and the fascinating part of this race is Harold Smith, the European
410 metres hurdles by 1/100th of a second from Skeets Nehemiah of the United States. It's a 1, 2, and 3 with Foster in 3rd place. And that's the biggest upset of
the 1975 European Junior Champion, first in the Spartakia had Olympic rehearsal, and Mike Wilson of Australia. Nehemiah, then Munkelk, Fujimura, Ksenius. As we go along the line, it's Pushkas and Mike Wilson, the glasses for Australia. Skeets Nehemiah, the world record holder. Thomas Munkelk, European champion, European Cup winner, and who won this event 2 years ago. Fujimura of Japan, running for Asia. Ksenius, the Olympic silver medalist from Cuba. Jan Pusti, running for Europe from Poland. And there's the camera, Obasogi of Nigeria, running for Africa. A lot of noise in the stadium, and no wonder the starter asked them to stand up. In fact, it's incredible, really. We've not had very big crowds here, but one expects knowledge, really, from North American crowds. A lot of people have come across to watch the States team, but it was similar in the Olympic Games. There really doesn't seem to be a great deal of discipline in the stadium. They do have a problem, mind you, for track and field, because a lot of them have to stand up for certain parts of this stadium, which has cost nearly $1 billion, but which is mainly used for American football and American baseball. They have to stand up to see, and of course the seats rattle as the starters call the athletes forward. Skeets Nehemiah in lane 3. America, of course, leading at the moment in the men's match. Europe just 5 points behind. Munkelt next to Nehemiah, and then Ksenius, this lightning Cuban who got the silver medal in the games, but in fact has met Nehemiah 5 times and lost every time. This time they go. Nehemiah didn't get a very good one. Munkelt did, but it's now Nehemiah and Munkelt together, and also going well as Ksenius. And this is going to be close. Beautiful run by Munkelt against Nehemiah, and it's very close indeed. Nehemiah and Munkelt together, and it's the dash for the line. Nehemiah got it. Munkelt second, and Ksenius third. But really, the man who's dominated world hurdling, tired possibly after his European trip, had a really close one then with Munkelt, who fought him every inch of the way. 13.38 the clock stopped at, well outside his world record. But Skeets Nehemiah, now he's getting up against world competition, is not finding it too easy. Beaten last time out at Zurich by Didi Cooper for the first time this season, and he was so close to being beaten then. Nehemiah in lane 3 was not first to the first hurdle then. Munkelt, in fact, was the first man there, and out of shot at the moment, Ksenius was also going well as well. But at this stage, they're absolutely together, getting away from the Cuban, and Munkelt, the European champion, is really giving Nehemiah the fright of his life. It was a superb race, and Ksenius was closing as well. And there, again,
Nehemiah hit that hurdle badly, but still recovered. And in the end, his final spurt for the take may just have held on. It was sheer drive that got him there. I think he may well have won it. Munkelt second and Cassanius third, but it is very close.
Well, Skeets Nehemiah, really the wonder boy of the close season and the early season, and I was taken to task by Daley Thompson for saying that this was the clearest favourite for a gold medal in Moscow in many people's accounts, and he pointed out that Udo Bayer in the shot and a certain gentleman over 400 metres hurdles may have the edge on him, Ed Moses. Well, we've seen him under pressure, and I should imagine Thomas Munkelt will be delighted with that. Alejandro Cassanias will not be very happy at finishing third, but look at the number of hurdles that he hits. He really clobbers the first. There he is with his trailing leg, and he's off balance. Watch that front foot doesn't come down directly underneath him. It's cutting away. As he comes down, he's certainly off balance. We've seen him hurdle very much better than this, and in fact Munkelt is giving him a hurdling lesson at the moment. He's upright as he always is. He's sprinting in his courage not to be denied, and Cassanias
in the world today. Ed Moses unbeaten in a run.
Meters hurdles, and the world record held by the man in lane 5 today, Skeets Nehemiah, returning after injury. Voted the track performance of 1979, 13 seconds dead. Masnikov of Russia runs in lane 2, lane 1 vacant, well-known European campaigner. Lane 3, Didi Cooper, the world number 4 in 79. The caption there is wrong, by the way. That is Didi Cooper. He's running in lane 3. And in lane 4, Rod Milburn, reinstated professional, the AAU indoor champion and the 1972 Olympic champion. Fascinating clash with Nehemiah, the new king of this event. Clocked the 4 fastest times in history in the 110 meters hurdles. That's Charlie Foster, the world number 10. Great character. Looks like the lead singer in Hot Chocolate. He sometimes performs like him as well. Bob Kaufman, decathlete, just inside 14 seconds last year. Then from France, out of his depth a little bit, Chin Pong, wearing the red vest, unfamiliar for a Frenchman. And Wilbert Greaves of Great Britain, been on the Australian circuit, nearest the camera in lane 9. Nehemiah in lane 5, taking on the 72 Olympic champion, Rod Milburn. Milburn, who turned pro to run with the ITA circuit, and recently reinstated. Milburn got a good start there. Nehemiah not so well away. Also going well there was Kaufman off the blocks, but he's fading. And it's Milburn now, the 72 veteran. He leads. Nehemiah in second place, beaten only once last year, and he's fighting his way back. Nehemiah hit that second from home, but he gets home in front. In second place was Didi Cooper, and third was Rod Milburn. Well, Nehemiah, who said that he started the year with walking pneumonia, was described as a respiratory complaint. He's been injured as well. Comes back, not to his very best, but to form here. Only lost once in Zurich last year in the whole of the season, but he was beaten off the blocks there by Milburn, who got a magnificent start. Milburn still leading at this stage, but Nehemiah faster through the air, and in spite of hitting the next to last hurdle, he gets home in front. Didi Cooper closing all the time. He didn't get away so well, and the green in lane 3, and Nehemiah crashes through that one, but it doesn't make any difference at all. Nehemiah wins, 30.32, Cooper second, and Rod Milburn in third place.
The men's 110 metres hurdles, featuring not only 4 of the top hurdlers in the world at the moment, but probably 4 of the all-time greats in high hurdling. In lane 3, the former Olympic champion, former world record holder, just reinstated from the professional ranks, Rod Milburn. In lane 4, the current world record holder, Renaldo Nehemiah, the man who ran 13 seconds flat in this race last year to break the then world record. In lane 5, the man who beat Nehemiah and inflicted his only defeat last year in Zurich, Didi Cooper. And in lane 6, Greg Foster, the man who suffers from a lack of concentration in his hurdling, but he's at the moment ranked number 1 in the world with a time of 13.30. But Nehemiah must be the favourite for this race, although he's been injured, and this is only his second race back, which he just won last week in Houston from Foster. The race being again turned round so the athletes have the benefit of a tailwind, but the lane's still running from left to right. And the lanes to watch: lane 3, Milburn; lane 4, Nehemiah; and lane 5, Didi Cooper. And they're away very evenly. It's Nehemiah up at the moment, but Nehemiah's clipped that hurdle. Foster's coming through. Foster it is in lane 6. Foster coming through with Milburn and Didi Cooper trying to battle it out. Foster wins. And what a surprise, and what a delight that is for the home crowd. Nehemiah there showing the effects of a layoff from hurdles, collecting as he went along hurdle 4 and 5, and a great victory for Greg Foster. Let's just look back at the start and at the slow motion. We'd had 1-4 start by Foster, but they get away very evenly on this second occasion, and Nehemiah it is over the second hurdle that shows in front, and then he gets into trouble. Hurdles 4 go down, hurdle 5 goes down, and it's at this point that Foster takes up the running. Cooper and Milburn battling for second and third place. Foster clips the 8th hurdle, but still drives through, quite a clear winner. And the final result there, Greg Foster with the fastest time in the world this year, 13.27. Didi Cooper in second place, 13.43, and third, Rod Milburn, 13.54, with the current world record holder Nehemiah in fourth.
For England drawn in lane 2 with the big tall Swede, the Swedish record holder, Krista Gull.
At South California seem miles away from the toughest athletic meeting in the world, but no more than 100 meters away is the track with the reputation of being one of the fastest in America. It's in Walnut, little town just inland from Los Angeles. And conditions today favorable for good performances, with a hot sun and a steady breeze favoring the sprinters.
And here is one of the fastest men in the world record holder at this, the 110 meters hurdles, Renaldo Nehemiah. He goes in lane 5, and to his left, Didi Cooper, the man, one of the men who's been pressuring in this season. Cooper already run 13.34, the third fastest in the world this year. And just to his left will be Rod Milburn. Milburn, the 5th fastest in the world, so all 3 men there lining up. What a privilege it is to see such tremendous performers all in the one race. Milburn, of course, the 1972 Olympic champion. 2 men both won this event before, Milburn and Nehemiah. The line-up from lane 1, Lance Babb on the inside, Milan Stewart in 2, Hot Rod Milburn in 3, Didi Cooper in 4, Renaldo Nehemiah in 5, Tony Campbell from Jamaica in 6, Dan Lavatt in 7, and Greg Vitch in lane 8. 10 flights of hurdles, each 3'6" high. An event very much dominated by the Americans over the years. One can name just on one hand probably the few men who have dared to try and break that domination. People like Guy Dru of France, Eddie Ottos of Italy, and Monkelt from East Germany. So the lanes to watch: lane 3 Milburn, 4 Cooper, and 5 Nehemiah. And Nehemiah is away first. Nehemiah slightly in the lead at this point, but Cooper's with him, and Milburn in lane 3 hanging on, but Milburn slips back. Nehemiah going away as Cooper hits a couple of hurdles, and Tony Campbell coming through out in lane 7. It's a great win there for Renaldo Nehemiah. Cooper coming through into second place, and surprisingly, Tony Campbell, it appeared, into third. What a tremendous performer he is. Watch this even start. Nehemiah in the white vest, coming in right leg lead into the hurdle. Cooper's up there with him. Milburn's got a good first hurdle as well. Nehemiah, in fact, clipped that. Cooper's clipped a couple. And so has Milburn. So a lot of woodwork flying at this point in the race. Very, very evening. Nehemiah returning to top form after surgery. But what a great run this is for Tony Campbell out in lane 7 in the yellow vest. Smooth running by Nehemiah, sprinting straight through to the tape. In fact, perhaps being caught on the run-in by Cooper. Let's just watch these 3 again head on. That's Milburn on the right, Cooper in the middle, and Nehemiah on the left-hand side. Nehemiah, we've seen taking that hurdle down. In fact, he took 5 or 6 hurdles out in this race, clipping a couple as he goes. Right leg lead for each of the hurdles, as indeed is Milburn, whereas you can see by contrast in the middle there, Cooper, in fact, leading with his left leg over each of the hurdles. A little bit untidy, Cooper, by comparison to the cool running, systematic hurdling of Nehemiah. Tremendous display of sprint hurdling. And the winning time for Nehemiah, 13.49, rather slow despite the 1 meter wind in their favour. Cooper in second.
2 Olympic champion. Can't remember them ever having meters hurdles. Renaldo Nehemiah of the United States, and next to him wearing number 4, Rod Milburn, the 1972 Olympic champion. A little thinner on top, but Hot Rod still a force to be reckoned with over the 10 barriers. The 4 line-up is Tony James of Enfield in lane 1. Berwyn Price, the Commonwealth champion, in lane 2. Mark Holtham in lane 3. Rod Milburn goes in 4. Renaldo Nehemiah in lane 5. Wilbert Greaves on his right wearing 6, the Ilford runner. Neil Gerard in 7. Tony Campbell from the United States in lane 8. 13.44, so he too a force to be reckoned with, but all eyes on lanes 4 and 5. The former world record holder against the current world record holder, and they get away first time. Nehemiah, the smoothest thing ever seen, but he's being pushed now by Milburn. It's Nehemiah that's hitting the sticks, and Milburn getting away from it. Milburn, the 72 champion, having a great race, and coming past is Tony Campbell. Oh, and Nehemiah's pulled. Nehemiah has lost a shoe. Milburn pushing him all the way into making mistakes. Campbell in lane 8, also coming. Nehemiah, I thought he'd injured himself, but I think he ripped a shoe off and really had some trouble over the sticks, was pressured all the way by the 30-year-old 1972 Olympic champion who enjoyed that win. Rod Milburn. Milburn, remember, in lane 4. Watch for the late challenge from Tony Campbell in 8, but Milburn chasing Nehemiah, who got to the first hurdle first. Hits that one. Milburn going away as Nehemiah hits that. You can see him coming back on his heels, rocking badly. Milburn hit one too. Coming hard is Tony Campbell, the American, in lane 8. Suddenly a gap has appeared. Nehemiah gets back, stumbles on landing. It's not a shoe. He lands badly. And there it looks as though Milburn undoubtedly first and Tony Campbell second. And it's going to take, I think it may be Wilbert Greaves in third.
First time. Danville will be looking for something fast as well tonight, but Hartley's blasted off fairly quickly.
In lane 3 is Eugene Miller, who was 5th in the NCAAs this year. In lane 4 is Tony Campbell, the USC sophomore. In lane 5, the world record holder of 13 seconds flat. You saw it on NBC last year in our coverage of the UCLA meet. In lane 6 is Jeff Bruce, who was 3rd in the Pac-10. In lane 7 is Wayne Mason, who was 3rd in the NCAAs. And in lane 8, the man who could well challenge Renaldo Nehemiah, this is D.D. Cooper. He has really looked strong in the preliminaries here. Nehemiah in the semifinal slipped in the middle of the race. He wanted to finish second. It is Nehemiah out and D.D. Cooper out. Nehemiah is in lane 5. Cooper is in lane 8. It is Renaldo Nehemiah and Cooper. It is Nehemiah over the final hurdle, and he wins it. Renaldo Nehemiah wins it. D.D. Cooper unofficially second, with Tony Campbell, the USC sophomore, finishing third.
Here you're going to see a very good example of Renaldo Nehemiah's bounce. He's going to come over this next hurdle, which is the 7th hurdle. He's going to hit it, and it'll throw him off. Right over this one, he hits it, throws him off. You can see him wobble to the side. He regains his balance, keeps running. Look at him come more back into the middle of the track, right on line. Now he knows he's won it. He's smiling over the last hurdle and right on through. Not the best race he's ever run, but you only have to win.
It may not be the best race that Renaldo Nehemiah has run, but his winning time of 13:26.
Going to his blocks out in lane 6, the current world record holder for the 400-meter hurdles.
And this high hurdles race comes back after a false start attributed to him, and this man has a world record 13.00 set in 1979. He's first in the US Olympic trials, but of course didn't go to those Olympic Games in Moscow. The full lineup: Bartrup of Epsom and Ewell in 1, then Neil Gerard of the Met Police in 2, Rod Milburn, the Olympic champion from 72, in lane 3, then Wilbert Greaves of Ilford in lane 4, Renaldo Nehemiah in 5, Mark Holtham of Wolverhampton Bilston in 6, Greg Foster of the United States in 7, and Tony James, left of picture, in lane 8. Nehemiah and Greaves and Milburn. And what an experience for Wilbert Greaves. He's gone off very quickly. And Milburn going well, and so is Nehemiah. Nehemiah and Milburn, these two at the front, and Foster, Greg Foster. Nehemiah and Milburn. Nehemiah first, Milburn second at the moment. Nehemiah first, Milburn second, Foster third. And the Britons run out of it. Mark Holtham in 4th. And what a talented pair of hurdlers there. and what an exhibition, and that could be a new United Kingdom all-comers record. At 13.3 we have as the unofficial time. The record stands to Alejandro Casañas of Cuba, set in 1977, 13.54. That's the confirmation, and the applause from Wilbert Greaves, from Mark Holtham, to this man, Renaldo Nehemiah. So, and that's Greg Foster with the Alley Track Club vest, the yellow vest there. And from the start, Wilbert Greaves there, sandwiched, as we said. Milburn got a tremendous start, but so did Nehemiah. Nehemiah just about 10-1 for 100 metres, and that sort of speed he uses well. But look at Greg Foster in the yellow vest, left of picture. He's going well too. The three Americans way out in front. And look at the style and the rhythm of both Nehemiah and Milburn, and the strength. And Foster hit a hurdle badly there and suffered for it. But Nehemiah first, Milburn in second, and Greg Foster in third. Look at that time, 13.2. And Holtham was in fourth place and Greaves in fifth. The wind 1.6 metres, but a new British all-comers record in the 110 metres high hurdles to this man, Renaldo Nehemiah of the United States.
Highlights of the meeting. And first, the 400 metres hurdles, and the commentator is Ron Pickering.
Karl-Heinz Riem of West Germany was first with 80 metres and 66, ahead of Sergei Litvinov of the Soviet Union, and Manfred Hunning of West Germany in third. And there's the lineup for this high hurdles race. Roberto Schneider of Switzerland in lane 1, then Jan Pusti of Poland in 2, Greg Foster of the United States in 3, Rod Milburn of the United States, the former Olympic champion, in 4. There he is. Next to him, Renaldo Nehemiah, 21-year-old world record holder, 13 seconds flat. And then there's an empty lane. Monacho of Spain should have been there. Then Derry Cooper of the United States. He's beaten Nehemiah previously. And on his right will be Arto Brigari of Finland. So Nehemiah well off. Nehemiah well in the lead at the moment, and Milburn in second, and Foster going well in lane 3. Foster and Nehemiah. Milburn out of it this time. Nehemiah first, Foster second, Milburn third. 13.20, and that is the fastest time in the world this year. We saw Nehemiah run 13.23 at the Crystal Palace. That was the fastest time. Then he repeated that just a few days later. And now the world record holder showing that he is the best. Nehemiah out in lane 5. Hurdling, modified sprinting. Beautiful rhythm here. 10 yards between the hurdles. And his stride pattern fits it beautifully. Just for once, Rod Milburn on his left, struggling just a little bit, feeling the pressure of Nehemiah there. And Milburn can also see Greg Foster of the United States, another 13.2 athlete. He's going well too. Those two together creating the pressure for the 1972 Olympic champion. But look at this rhythm. Nehemiah flowing beautifully here. And the margin just, well, a couple of metres, perhaps a little more. And that time so close to the world record.
So the men's 110 metres high hurdles. There's the lineup. Neil Gerard, he runs inside in lane 2. And Philip Bartrop in lane 2. Then Mark,
wearing the champion's number 1, are expected to dominate. Nehemiah is the first to go, and the commentator is Stuart Story.
the world record holder in the high hurdles, Renaldo Nehemiah of the United States. Our first chance to see him in Europe this year. Personal best, of course, 13.00. And what a privilege it is to see him running in these 3A's championships. Next to him, Nigel Walker, then Graham Flood, then Mark Hatton, Duncan Cadman, Alan Sumner and Colin Richardson. First two through. And Skeets Nehemiah way well. And Walker. And look at the speed and incredible reaction of Nehemiah. Already a flight ahead of the rest of the field. Absolutely superb. And the crowd applauding. Sheer genius. Nehemiah. Well, what can you say about a man who hardly seemed to be hurdling at all? That was sheer poetry in motion. 13.3 seconds, the unofficial time, and that will be a new championship record for Renaldo Nehemiah. Looking down, there's little or no wind at all, and he appreciates the applaud of this crowd. Absolutely first class. 13.3, his best this season, 13.26, 2.4.
And look at him from the start, 10.24, his best time over 100 meters, and that sort of sprinting speed showing here. But look at the trail leg, that's the left leg, how quickly it comes down off the hurdle and really gets into his sprinting. Skeets Nehemiah, 13.3, and well, the world record certainly looks in danger. Now just get a look from the front here. It's important sprinting speed, but watch the left leg, how quickly it comes through. The first stride off the hurdle, very important indeed. Notice how relaxed his shoulders are and how really balanced he is. Absolutely super. And the wind, in fact, is slightly against in this race, and look at this for sheer poetry. Just clips that one, but nevertheless, he's just over a flight ahead of the rest of the field, and 13.3. Nehemiah's time confirmed 13.34, a new championship record in the very first heat. Rod Milburn of the United States, the holder of this 3A's 110 meters high hurdles title. He runs in lane 6, former Olympic champion, of course, and former world record holder. He set that record 13.24 back in 1972. Full lineup: Erskine in lane 1, Bartrup in 2, MacDonald in 3, Moore in 4, Wilkinson in 5, then Rod Milburn, and Kelly left of picture in the outside lane. Milburn got a beautiful start there, already leading 2 or 3 meters ahead. Milburn showing once again that hurdling is modified sprinting. Milburn 3 or 4 meters ahead, is photograph for second, that's for sure. And Milburn's time 13.9, and the wind slightly against, and Milburn's certainly going to have his work cut out to take this title again this year after the demonstration shown by Nehemiah, the first man to greet him there. Rod Milburn, a very wide stance in the set position, good use of the arms here. Look at the aggressive approach to that first hurdle. As soon as you get to that first hurdle first, then you can relax just a little bit. But once again, here we see the trail leg coming through very quickly, allowing the athlete to get into the first stride quickly. Time in the air is time wasted. He clips that a little, loses a little bit of balance and moves to the right-hand side of the hurdle, but nevertheless, his forward momentum is not upset. A little bit tense in the shoulders, obviously out to impress and to run a good time here. He's certainly not pressed by the opposition at this stage, but look at the powerful run in from the last hurdle. That's determination from the former Olympic champion.
So the finalists for the 110 meters hurdles: Renaldo Nehemiah of the United States, Tony Campbell of the United States, Mark Holtham, Wolverhampton and Bilston, Rod Milburn of the United States, Willie Galt of America also, then Tony James of Enfield, Peter Kelly of Wolverhampton and Bilston, and Nigel Walker of Cardiff Athletic Club. That final tomorrow afternoon.
Final, the 110 meters hurdle. The full lineup: Peter Kelly, Wolverhampton and Bilston in lane 1. Rod Milburn, the 1972 Olympic champion, in lane 2 from America. Lane 3, Willie Galt. Lane 4, the world record holder, Renaldo Nehemiah. Lane 5, Mark Holtham of Wolverhampton. Lane 6, Tony Campbell, the United States. Lane 7, Tony James of Enfield. And lane 8, Nigel Walker of Cardiff. The commentator once more, Ron Pickering.
All eyes on Renaldo Nehemiah in this 110 meters hurdles. And there's a grave danger, of course, that all the eyes of the competitors, the other competitors in the race, will be on him too. His margin of victory in the heats was truly phenomenal. It was an immaculate piece of hurdling, superb technique. Mind you, there are 4 good Americans in this race, 3 of the world's top 7 this year, and this man, the other man, the one of the 2 in the top 4 of all time. That's Rod Milburn, the 1972 Olympic champion and the 1983 A's champion. But Nehemiah in lane 4 with Mark Holtham there on his right and Willie Galt of the United States on his left put on such a demonstration of hurdling that it was just a bit breathtaking. Mark Holtham is with him. He's got another good American on his right, Tony Campbell. Away he goes. Nehemiah first to the first hurdle and really going away already. 2 meters, 3 meters. Milburn, Galt going after him, and the other American, Campbell. But look at this as he pours it on and flows over the hurdles and gets there by about 9 meters. He really is coming back. I say coming back because the world's fastest is 13-1 by Greg Foster, and he started, by his standards, badly this season. That is 13-2. He set the championship record last night of 13-3-4, and that is quite a remarkable run because he's improved that championship record and may even have taken his own British all-comers record of 13.23 set in 1980. Indeed he did. His time of 13.17 is the second fastest run in history. Watch this man pour over the hurdles. He generally throws his foot at the right-hand side, giving good clearance on the left-hand side. He's already edged the other Americans. They're under pressure from the word go. Rod Milburn in lane 2, Willie Gault in 3, this good American Tony Campbell in 5. Mark Holtham has started badly, but he does come back towards the end of the race. They're all really watching Milburn flow over the hurdles. Willie Gault is in second at the moment. Tony Campbell is about to overtake him and go into second, and Mark Holtham is running splendidly as he goes to the tape. Look at that, he's making up a place, and in fact he's going to get third. Tony Campbell will finish just ahead of him, Mark Holtham in third, and that means that Mark Holtham has beaten the former Olympic champion, Rod Milburn. Mark Holtham's time, 13.75, Tony Campbell, 13.72, but that, the second fastest run over high hurdles ever seen, is worth watching again. Get to the first hurdle first. How often we've said that. The keynote to good hurdling. Great sprinting. And now watch how his foot lands after the hurdle. It tends to throw him slightly off balance, but because he throws his left arm forward at the same time as he throws his right lead leg, he counteracts that twist. And now it's marvelous hurdling. He's settled the race. That's over. It's now about form over the obstacle. Throw the lead leg straight at the obstacle, and then keep the head and shoulders going forward and fluently, as in good sprinting. And I must say that Mark Holtham finishes off this race extremely well. But that is immaculate hurdling. The world record holder running the third fastest time ever. Only Greg Foster has run faster than this race that we see here. That's 13.10 that heads this season's rankings. But what a privilege to have Renaldo Skeets Nehemiah here in Britain, just receiving his trophy and setting a record that's going to take some beating for years and years to come, I'm sure. Meters hurdles. He looked so very impressive in the heats last night, but I don't think he'll...
10-meter hurdles, then 187 Urs Röner of Switzerland, 179 Deddy Cooper, then the world record holder Renaldo Nehemiah. Next to him, Greg Foster of the United States, the world's fastest athlete this year with 13.10. Then Roberto Schneider, then Tony Campbell of the United States, 178. And left of picture, Alejandro Casañas of Cuba, the Olympic silver medalist in the last two Olympics. Nehemiah just recovering from a foot injury. The 3A's champion recently at Crystal Palace, 13.17. The two fastest men together in lanes 4 and 5. Nehemiah wearing red. And Nehemiah away beautifully at the moment. So is Foster. Foster ahead at the moment. Foster from Nehemiah. Greg Foster. Nehemiah coming back. Now Nehemiah. Nehemiah from Foster. Nehemiah first. Foster second. And Santana third. 12.92. Our new world record in the 110 meters hurdles. Confirmation needed, yes. But it took the battle between Nehemiah and Foster to create it. Foster chased Nehemiah, pushed him hard all the way, and the great man came through over the last 4 barriers and showed what sprint hurdling is all about. Nehemiah, 10.24 over 100 meters. That's the sort of basic speed he had to call on. Greg Foster, 20.2 over 200 meters. And now, from the start, Greg Foster got away beautifully. So did Nehemiah. These two into the first hurdle, both sprinting well at this stage. Modified sprinting. Look at the aggressive approach, but relaxed approach to the first hurdle. They're both pretty even at this stage. Greg Foster now starts to go into a little bit of a lead. Foster certainly had command of the early part of this race after a good start. Foster very much bigger and stronger than Nehemiah, but Nehemiah now beginning to use the rhythm that his technique affords him. A good fast trail leg. His lead leg hits the deck pretty quickly. And Foster now even having to chop to make these 3'6" barriers. Foster in a little bit of trouble now, under pressure as he sees Nehemiah going away. Nehemiah now capitalizes on it. And the time confirmed, 12.93 for Renaldo Nehemiah. So 2 world records tonight in Zurich, with the American hurdler, of course, joined by Britain's Sebastian Coe, who's now...
Minutes 48.54 seconds.
Seconds, and I think the secret of this race lay in the extra power that Nehemiah has developed this season. He competed in Superstars and won the American final, and that extra power around the shoulders was just enough to see him ahead of Greg Foster. Right from the very start, he established his superiority, just got that half a yard, which meant that Foster was seeing him through his eyes with every stride he took. And it meant that he was dictating the race from the front. And he was travelling so fast on this new stadium track here in Zurich that he was coming right up high on the hurdles, had no problem with hitting the woodwork at all. And it's his leg speed between the hurdles that delivers these fast times. Nehemiah running so well between the hurdles. Look how his leg comes over and then snaps down to get into his running, because while you're in the air, you're losing time. So that leg snaps down and he really races. And Foster, who's run 13.1 this year, heading the world rankings until now, is trying everything he can, but he can't hold the sheer power over the last hurdle. You see it now. Nehemiah sets himself up and then really drives for the line. He's really sprinting very, very, very fast. Faster, in fact, than any man.
For what promises to be a dramatic race. 110 metres hurdles, and in this, Skeets Nehemiah, astounding 12.93, takes on his great rival, Greg Foster, once more. 48 hours after setting those new world record figures. Nehemiah runs in lane number 6 and wearing number 199. The full lineup: Rod Milburn, the 1972 Olympic champion, in lane 1. Didi Cooper, United States, in lane 2. Tony Campbell, United States, in 3. Derngies of West Germany in 4. Borracho of Spain in 5. Nehemiah, the world record holder, America, in 6. In 7, Greg Foster, on Wednesday night, became the 3rd fastest man in history at 13.03. Only Nehemiah has run faster than Foster. And nearest the camera is Sam Turner, also United States. So 6 outstanding Americans in this, and a chance straight away for Greg Foster, who is the American champion, to get his revenge on Nehemiah, the world record holder. They are great rivals, and that rivalry is not altogether friendly on occasion. Nehemiah in the red vest, just slightly hidden by the stanchion, and Greg Foster 2 inches taller and a stone heavier, and the all-blue strip in lane 7. The man nearest the camera as you watch. Way to go first time, and Foster got a beauty, but Nehemiah's with him as well. Foster was quickly away, and Foster's gone right through 2 hurdles and is out of the race. Nehemiah leading in a moment. On the far side of lane 2 is Didi Cooper. Nehemiah, Didi Cooper, and Nehemiah wins. But Didi Cooper in 2nd place, and Tony Campbell in 3rd, and the time 13.5 on there, but that time you can see is wrong. The stadium clock shows another astounding run by Nehemiah. Ignore the time on the television. The time shown in the stadium is 13.19, so we have to see which is right. But that was a running disaster for Greg Foster. He got off the blocks well. He was pressing Nehemiah at the first, and then came undone. He was all wrong at 2, and he couldn't even take off at the 3rd hurdle. And from then, Skeets Nehemiah living up to his name. So quick through the air, going away all the time. Didi Cooper in lane 2 had a fine run, but he was under pressure all the time from Tony Campbell. And in the end, with Nehemiah winning, and the time still to be confirmed, Didi Cooper and Tony Campbell in a photograph for 2nd and 3rd places. The following wind, 2.1 meters. And a time now confirmed for Renaldo Nehemiah. In fact, the television clock was wrong, the stadium clock right. Confirmed at 13.18. In 2nd place, Campbell, the United States, 13.50, and Cooper got 3rd in the photograph, 13.51. Moses, in the 400-meter hurdles, the world record holder, walking slowly forward. Renaldo Nehemiah in the 110 meters hurdle. Nehemiah goes to his blocks again. Nehemiah all in red in lane 3.
Foster on his right in lane 4. Then Tony Campbell, Rod Milburn, Denny Cooper and Da Silva, with on the left, on the right of our picture, Maracho of Spain. Nehemiah all in red. 3 or 4 full starts, anxious to get away quickly, and he gets away well ahead of Foster. And Nehemiah hurdling brilliantly, and he's leading all the way this time. Brilliantly sprinting between. Foster's trying to close the gap, but Nehemiah is away and clear. Foster stumbled on that one. The finger goes up in the air. It's another great run by Nehemiah, and that's 3 times running. 3 times running, and that must be the fastest time it's ever been run in this stadium. When they finally got on their blocks after 4 full starts where the Belgian was pulled out, Nehemiah settled, but he got away very quickly indeed. Nehemiah always leading from Foster, and Foster has a bad latter part of the race in trying to close the gap to improve his sprinting. Really on the last 2 hurdles he's going badly, whereas Nehemiah is really hurtling away. The more upright sprinter gets back on the ground and does the job. That's the one that Foster hits badly. Now watch this one as well.
Harry Schulting from Holland and Europe in 2. Walter Beck from the GDR in 3. Archipenko from Greg Foster, the American champion, in lane 2. And Renaldo Nehemiah, the world record holder indoors and out, in lane 4. He's in the red vest with the white stripe. They're in 4. In between the 2 stars is Rod Milburn, the 1972 Olympic champion, but he's still going well. Nehemiah already in the front. Milburn's up there, so too is Foster, but Foster takes that hurdle out and Milburn wins it easily on the line. Big mistake there on the penultimate hurdle by Greg Foster. He really bounced the hurdle back behind him, lost a lot of momentum. Meanwhile, Nehemiah, who, although this is an early season clash, is hurdling relatively smoothly. It's not as smooth as he would like, but the big man Foster in lane 2 does well to get up to the first hurdle as quickly as that, trying to dictate the pace of the race. Nehemiah over in lane 4, stretching a little bit for that second hurdle, but then beginning to clip his stride as the rhythm picks up. Foster is still with him, but then he really bounces that hurdle. You see it come up behind him. He loses a lot of rhythm, and that gives Nehemiah the chance to shoot through and win in 6.94 seconds. That's just outside the world record. So victory for Nehemiah over Foster, and he's down at the trackside now with Leandra Riley.
Okay, there's a rivalry between you and Foster. Could maybe you elaborate on that for our viewers?
Well, it's unusual that you have the best hurdler at 22 years of old and the second best hurdler at 23, both in the same era. And of course, Greg Foster, who is yet to be the best hurdler in the world because of myself, he's really impressing me throughout. And each year it's harder and harder because Greg Foster is still on a continuing drive, and that makes it harder for him.
Of the 60-meter hurdles. Left a picture wearing number 15, Berwyn Price, the reigning Commonwealth champion.
To ever go under 13 seconds with a 12.93 clocking in Zurich. He has had a 3-year reign as the class hurdler in the world. He had 7 of the year's 10 best clockings in 1981. And in addition to his hurdling skills, he was also a winner on the American Superstars competition. So he is an all-around athlete. Renaldo Nehemiah, the man to beat in this 50-yard hurdles.
On their marks position now. Now they must go into the set position as that excellent starter from Canada, Joe Young, disciplines them.
Nehemiah away quickly, being challenged by Foster. It's Nehemiah and Foster, and Nehemiah is the winner. Foster finishes second. As expected, Nehemiah and Foster fought it out in the 50-yard hurdles, and Renaldo Nehemiah, the world record holder, to the applause of the crowd at Maple Leaf Gardens, the winner in 1982, as he was in 79 and 81.
And an excellent start. 8 electrically fast strides to this first hurdle. Already he's ahead, challenged only by Foster. 3 mighty quick strides in between. Superb low clearance of these hurdles, stretching out these limbs, taking that 4th flight, keeping low, getting down on the ground and leaning in for a good meet of victory. Clearly the finest high hurdler the world has yet seen.
The time for that 50-yard hurdles was fast, but we didn't realize until just now how fast it was. 5.92 for Renaldo Nehemiah, a world indoor record. And Nehemiah certainly has enjoyed his competition at Maple Leaf Gardens in the Toronto Star Games. Last year, he lowered the standard to 5.98. And tonight, with a clocking of 5.92, a world indoor record for Renaldo Nehemiah.
Congratulations, another world's record. You own this building.
Well, I like to think so. I've competed here 3 out of 4 years, and I broke the world record at 6:04, then 5.98, and of course, this evening at 5.92. That one year I didn't compete, I was injured here, but the people here really enjoy track and field, and they complimented me this year by putting me on the cover of the program, so I really felt I owed them something, and I had a great performance tonight.
Listen, I was up at the finish. You didn't look to be pushing too hard when you came over that final hurdle.
Well, last weekend I was hurting the superstars, and my leg was a little tender, so I was going to do the best I could this evening. That's relaxed.
5:18.6.5, and the hurdler's already out. Renaldo Nehemiah there out. Renaldo Nehemiah there in lane 3, the world record holder and 3A's champion. On his left, Willie Gault, who was 4th in the 3A's championships last year. And on his right, Rod Milburn in lane 4, the Olympic champion from 1972. But Nehemiah, the super athlete, who broke 13 seconds last year. Oh, and he's away well. And Milburn going well, and so is Willie Gault in lane 2. But Nehemiah out on his own. Nehemiah's winning this. Gault in 2nd, Milburn 3rd. And the time very fast indeed. And who is there left to beat this man? Nehemiah, 6.84, just 0.02 of a second outside the world record. And whilst that hurdles race was on,